Hi ladies, it's Angela here. I wanted to just wrap up the year. We're almost at the end of 2025. So thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. If you are a member of my Facebook group, Functional Medicine for Hormonal Imbalances, thank you so much for following me throughout the year. And if you're a current client of mine, you may have found me through social media, or you may have found me by word of mouth. Of course, you may have found me some other way as well, but thank you so much to my clients as well. You guys have been amazing, and I really enjoy being a part of this YouTube channel and interacting with everyone, as well as my Facebook group. These are my two biggest areas on social media that I try and interact with you, provide education, and really provide some inspiration to you to help you to learn how to rebalance your hormone health as naturally as possible as you move into your 40s, 50s, and beyond. This is a time of hormonal change and shift for every female, no matter what is going on in your body. And it can be hormonal chaos for a lot of women. A lot of women are left wondering what they can do to get themselves back to feeling like themselves again, feeling like they're in their own bodies again. And there is a lot that can be done. And I see this every day that I'm working with women in my programs, either one-on-one privately or in my group programs, that there is ways to get your body and your mind and yourself back on track, even in this time of change and shift with hormones, which is huge, which is really between the ages of 35 to 40 up to 55, 60. So this can be a span of anywhere from 10 to 20 years where you're experiencing significant shifts in your body as a female. And you don't have to do it alone. There's a lot of community that you can get from being part of these social groups. So I'm happy to have some community. I'm going to definitely be amping that up here as we get into 2026. I'm going to have more community, more group interaction for us. I'm going to have some memberships for women so that they can feel like they're connecting with their tribe and women that are really in the same boat as them and trying to learn how to rebalance hormones naturally, and also to be able to see what women are doing that are working with me one-on-one and understanding the results that you can get. So I just wanted to end by giving you a couple of testimonials from this year. Some ladies have given me video testimonials, but a lot have given me written testimonials. And so I'll just give you a couple of them here to hopefully inspire you with your health and potentially with working with a practitioner such as myself in 2026, or 2025 is not over yet. I'm definitely still taking some discovery calls in 2025. I'm not working a lot over the holidays, but a little bit. And if you do log into the link that I will put below this video post, you will be able to see that there is a couple of places for you to book a complimentary initial consultation if you want to learn about what you could do to help you optimize your hormone health and balance, both in 2025, 2026, and beyond. So here's a couple of examples of the successes that my clients that I've either worked with or are currently still working with have had. So one of them says, I will say that I have not had insomnia again since starting this functional lifestyle plan, including the supplements. This is someone who was up all hours of the night on and off. She was sleeping for 3 to 4 hours at very random times in the night. Sometimes she'd wake up a couple hours after going to sleep. Sometimes she'd wake up at 3, 4, or 5 and couldn't get back to sleep. And it was just wreaking havoc on her life. And we did discover for her that a lot of this imbalance with insomnia was actually coming from inflammation. And the inflammation for her was being driven by toxic load in her body, as it often is. There was a huge imbalance with her liver health and how she could get rid of toxins. We even did genetic testing for her to understand that she did have some genetic predispositions to not being able to move toxin loads out of her liver specifically as well. She had what are called detoxification genetics and methylation genetics. So she actually needed extra nutrient support specifically for the liver to help her get rid of toxic load. And I do see this often when women aren't sleeping well, because there is a lot of disruption in hormone levels, especially at this time of life as well. Many women think it's the hormones that are causing the sleep disruption, but hormones have to be metabolized like toxin loads through the liver. So if the liver is not functioning that well, if it's full of toxic load and it can't get rid of it efficiently, often when the hormone levels, especially estrogen, starts to fluctuate a lot, and as it does in our 40s and 50s, as it starts to lower, if our liver is not efficient with being able to balance this estrogen as it fluctuates up and down and detoxify it through, often women do have insomnia, and it can be severe, like this woman. but she did get it back on track. And with that, her metabolic health improved as well. So she was experiencing weight gain, even though she was exercising and had a clean diet, but the sleep was really slowing down her metabolic health. It's all very connected. Liver health is connected to our metabolic health big time. So that was really interesting to see. And again, she didn't go on to any sort of hormone replacement therapy. She was in her late 40s. This had been suggested to her, but she wanted to look at other ways that she could potentially rebalance those hormones in her sleep naturally. So she was highly successful. Thank you so much for that testimonial. And I had someone else here. Let me just see. I've got a few of them. Yeah, someone said, I've lost 10 pounds since we've been working together over just the last 6 weeks. I haven't lost 10 pounds in over 4 years with trying various different strategies. She said, I know it was related to my gut health. It feels so much better now. I have less gas, less bloating. And I used to have a lot of this and my stomach was hurting often and my bowels work like clockwork now and they weren't before. This was someone who was actually constipated for up to a week. So again, back to what we needed to do to help her there. We needed to work on her gut health. So she actually had a big buildup of non-favorable bacteria in her gut. She had parasites, she had candida overgrowth. All of this stuff just makes your motility and your bowels very sluggish for a lot of women. And basically toxins and bacteria back up and it can make you more prone to weight gain because it slows down your metabolism. So she had great success and actually it didn't take her long to start losing weight once we got a plan in place that was working well for her. And we did run functional labs with the gut, both stool and urine, to understand what to do to help her. Let's see, I'll do a couple more here. Okay, here's one. In 1 month, Angela Simpson helped me to understand my health in a way that no one else has. Her thorough lab work eliminated uncertainties and provided me with clarity. The personalized plan that she created for me has improved my energy, has improved my weight loss, and I'm genuinely grateful for her compassion and patient-focused approach. Yeah, so this is someone, again, who I'd worked with her for 4 weeks and she lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks and she was not on a weight loss plan. She was not reducing calories. We had run a metabolic urine panel to look at her nutrient levels, toxin loads in the body, and overall inflammation and where it was coming from. And for her as well, and this is not uncommon for me to see, this is someone who was 5 years into menopause and she had gained 50 pounds year after year from going into menopause. She said she hadn't gained any weight until she went into menopause. And then all of a sudden it started coming on. So what we did from her labs, again, very specific, but she was very nutrient deficient. And so a lot of the nutrients that we're deficient in, we often think we're eating a healthy diet, but if our gut isn't absorbing these nutrients properly, and that can be for various different reasons. For some people, when stress is high, they don't absorb nutrients. For some people, they have a lot of inflammation and disruption in their gut and their gut lining, and the gut lining is what pulls those nutrients in for use. So she had a lot of disruption in her gut lining. And like the other client, like I say, it's not uncommon that lost weight once we addressed her liver health. This lady as well also had a buildup. We ran an environmental toxin panel. She had a buildup of BPA, phthalates, some microplastics, herbicides, pesticides that were all trapped in her body and they were impacting her liver's ability to detoxify. So some of these toxins were being stored in the liver and throughout the body in the fat tissue. And when the fat tissue has toxin load in there, no matter what you do to try and mobilize the fat, exercising harder, reducing calories, extreme fasting, it doesn't change it until you start to get rid of the toxic load. So we used various different detoxification techniques to help her as well. But actually, again, back to what we did with the labs, we just got her gut cleaned up. We got her absorbing her nutrients better. We brought in a couple of extra nutrients from some specific supplementation based on her labs. And she had massive change in 4 weeks. She lost 15 pounds. She's also someone who has autoimmunity with her thyroid. She has ulcerative colitis. So she had some other things going on as well. And she reported that those conditions also started to go into remission. And these were confirmed on lab tests from her conventional practice doctor. So that was super exciting as well. And actually, that reminds me, I do need to check in on her again because I haven't chatted with her for a while, but that was in the fall. She's doing great. One last one. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's one. Angela, I just wanted to post an update for you. I'm already seeing improvements after just 3 weeks. My mood is the biggest change. My anxiety level is only half of what it was just 3 days ago. So I've experienced a feeling of joy today for the first time in over a year. So pretty awesome. And what did we do to help her with her mood imbalance symptoms? Yeah, she was having severe anxiety, panic attacks. She had to go off work, actually. She was not even working at this point. She is back at work now, which is great. She had a job, an office job, but very high level. So there was a lot asked of her, and she just was not able to perform with the anxiety that she had. So what we did to help her was actually we ran some DNA testing again. There's 2 different DNA tests you can run to help understand if mood is impacted through any sort of genetic predispositions. So we ran a test called DNA Mind, and we saw actually that what was probably from a genetic perspective, the biggest amplifier of her mood imbalance was inflammation. So if we have inflammation in our bodies, we will also most commonly have what's called neuroinflammation, which is an inflammation in the brain. A lot of women will experience different symptoms with inflammation in the brain fog, very common, memory concerns, very common, especially as hormone levels shift and change, and mood imbalances are very common. Through the DNA Mind testing, we also saw actually that she had a genetic predisposition for needing higher amounts of serotonin circulating to keep her feeling calm and balanced with her mood. And this was part of the anxiety as well. So we had to get very specific with her nutrition, with her proteins, with specific amino acids to help her actually with optimizing this production. And many women don't realize this with mood imbalance, but also what helped her was we started calming down inflammation in the gut. So 90% of our mood balance chemicals that we produce in our body, especially from a calming perspective, serotonin is that calming brain chemical, it actually comes from production in the gut, 90% of it. So unless we get the gut more happy and balanced, our mood honestly can never fully rebalance. We calmed down inflammation in the gut. We gave her some specific anti-inflammatory natural herbal powders. Actually, we had her mix them with water, and she noticed an improvement almost like a lightning bolt. It was a switch so quick. So for her, that was the main driver of her mood imbalance, was the inflammation coming from her gut. Again, we have to figure out where things are coming from an individualized perspective. It's different for everyone, but it just gives you a little bit of an idea. One last one, no fluid retention anymore, not feeling puffy and inflamed, not gassy anymore, lost 14 pounds since we started working together. I feel more comfortable in my body. I have energy. My brain is feeling clear, and I'm feeling much more regulated with my mood overall. This is someone as well who was having a lot of mood disruption, feeling more low in mood, so not anxious, but low and depressed. And as soon as we got her nutrition dialed in and we started to heal her gut, balance her body, she started to have all those great improvements. And that happened over a period of about 6 months. But still, it was massive for her. It completely changed her life. Okay, ladies, thank you so much. Again, I hope that gives you some inspiration, some hope, so that you know that you don't have to just struggle and be in a cycle and circle of symptoms from here on in as your hormones shift and change as a female transitioning into perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. There's a ton you can do, and this is my passion. I love working with women just like you if you are struggling with hormone imbalance symptoms, to help you learn how to get to the root cause of them so that we can develop both short-term and long-term planning to get your body back into overall health and wellness. And that is really how you address the specific symptoms that are going on for you. Some of the symptoms are not uncommon. Probably some of the things that I mentioned here with these ladies, you may have them as well, but the solution is unique to you. And the only way for us to understand how to get to that solution is to run proper lab testing. So this is what I do when I work with women, both one-on-one and in group programming, is I make sure we customize what needs to happen for you to improve and optimize your hormone wellness, your overall body balance, so you can feel like yourself again for now and many years to come. So I look forward to this more and more in 2026, to developing and bringing you more programming. I am passionate about this because I've also suffered with hormone imbalance and many different symptoms, which you may have heard me chat about before. Mood imbalance was a big one for me. Weight gain was a big one for me as well. And just not feeling comfortable in my body, in my brain, and just like myself anymore. And I knew I had to do something as well to improve on my health and just my ability to function in everyday life. So I live it. I've felt it. I still do feel it. It's a revolving door. We have to be working on our health from here on in, really, as we age, to help improve and optimize where we want to be. But again, thank you so much for being part of my group, whether you're in my Facebook group or you're watching my YouTube channel regularly. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. Happy holidays to everyone who is celebrating. I know there is definitely some people that don't celebrate, but for those of you that do, we're all coming to the end of the year. So congratulations on learning more about your health in 2025. And I look forward to bringing you more and more awesome information about how you can rebalance your hormones naturally in 2026 and beyond. Thanks, ladies. Bye for now.